Okay, so what I eat in a day. All right, so basically I start off with my coffee. So I just make my own Starbucks at home, basically. So let me go ahead and get that. Actually, I have like some leftover from the other day, so I've got to finish that and do the other one. And my creamer. Okay, so trivia. All right, so basically what I do is I just use the medium roast unsweetened Starbucks iced coffee because I like iced coffee. I also like hot coffee too. I just prefer most of the time to have iced coffee. So I'll go ahead and fill my glass with that. Probably about 3/4 of the way full because I have to put some ice in there too. I want to put some more ice. So there's that. Oh, I didn't realize. Hello. Oh geez, nails. All right, come on. Come on, come off. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's about 3/4 of the way full. Throw the old one out. Okay, and then the next thing I do is I need to add creamer. So I do 1/4 of a cup of this, and that's like 20 calories for this. So, yeah, that's like not even a point for Weight Watchers. So that's why I do 1/4 of a cup. So that way it doesn't count. Okay, so this is a 1/2 cup. So I'm just gonna use half of this because that would be 1/4. Okay, so let's put that in there. And then I just add, because this is trivia, this is like that fake sugar, but this is like the natural one that's not like bad for you. So there's no calories, so you don't count this. So I don't really measure this, I just kind of eye it, and I like a good amount. So there's that. I keep it out just in case I want to add more. And then I get a huge straw, or not straw, huge spoon. Mix it up. Mix up some more. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's taste test this bad boy. Definitely feel like it needs some more sugar. Or fake sugar, however you want to call it. You guys probably are like, whoa, you put a lot in it. Yes, I do. I put a lot in there. Like sweetness. All right, so you guys all know I do intermittent fasting too, and you're probably thinking, all right, it's morning time and you're having some calories there, which is true. As long as you stay under 50 calories to not break your fast, you're okay. So if you want to have your coffee and have a little bit of creamer, you can do that. You just can't go over 50 calories. All right, that's better. All right, so there's that. Now I'm going to add my ice. Wow, I needed more. Beautiful. So there you go, Starbucks at home, tastes really good. Bam, done. Okay, so lunchtime. So today I'm gonna have basically something that I have almost every single day. It's my 4-point lunch that I like to have. I have this basically always 5 days a week, definitely, while I'm at work, because it's easier for me to bring to work. I have a toaster at work, and then I've got a fridge at work, so it's just easier for me. Basically, it's just a turkey sandwich with fruit, and it comes up to 4 points. So first, I want to talk about the bread that I use, and let me go ahead and put the bread down in the toaster. So I got that. Okay, so this is the bread that I use. It's the Nature's Own butter bread, and I like to use this because it's white bread, and it's only 3 points for 2 pieces of bread. I have yet to find another white bread out there for the same amount of points or for less points. I know there is a couple brands out there that I've heard of from other Weight Watchers people. Like, I think there's one that's like the 35 calorie bread or something like that. But I have yet to find that in the stores that I have down here in Florida. So this is what I stick with. I only like white bread. I don't like the other kinds of breads that are out there, like wheat bread and all that other people like. So you got to do you, but this is what I like. So this is what I use. So 3 points for 2 pieces. I've got that in the toaster right now. And then also my turkey. So I've got that. And my mayonnaise. So the mayonnaise that I like to use is the Hellmann's light mayonnaise, because it's like 1 point for 1 tablespoon. And that's pretty much what I put on there. I don't measure it. I used to measure it, but now I'm kind of used to like knowing what it is just by looking at like how much mayonnaise is on there. So hold on one second. Let me grab my toast. I don't like my toast like super toasty. I like it to be like lightly toasted like that. So anyway, okay, so yeah, here's my Hellmann's light mayonnaise, and I just, like I said, I eyeball it. Put that on here. Get down to the end of it. All right, so that's good. So there's that. Like I said, I eyeball this, and I know a lot of people are like, you need to be measuring your stuff. And I get that. Like, I was like that in the beginning, but honestly, what I like to do, and I'll explain this also later today, is I like to have my low point lunch, which is 4 points. I don't eat breakfast. And then like I was explaining earlier with my coffee, that's 0 points for my coffee, because the amount of milk that I use is that like non-fat milk, and it's 1/4 of a cup. So that's no points for that. The sugar's no points because it's the Truvia, and the coffee's no points. So that's 0 points for that. 4 points for my lunch. I get 26 points in a day because I weigh 227 pounds. I'm 5'6", and I'm 38 years old. So that's the points I get. I know the lowest that I'll ever get is 24 points. So I'm really close to the lowest that anyone can get. I like to try to have 4 points left over at least, sometimes 3 points. 3 or 4 points at least left over every day. And that's how I lose weight. If I use up all my points, sometimes I'll gain, and sometimes I'll just stay the same. And there are days that I do that because I want to indulge a little bit extra or something, and I'm just like, whatever, I'm not going to lose today. But yeah, I have to have some points left over on the table. Also, like I was just talking about, I don't measure out the mayonnaise onto here. I'm assuming this is a tablespoon based off of when I used to measure and put it on there, and just eyeballing it, it's about the same that I used to put on there. So if I went a little bit over on this, then I've got that extra 4 points. And so, you know, some could say maybe with keeping the extra 4 points and not measuring every little thing, maybe I am using all my points. I doubt that, because I do measure some things. So, I mean, the most I don't measure is probably this every day. So we're only talking about like maybe 1 point extra. So I have to have leftover points. So, you know, that kind of helps compensate a little bit, but I do have to have leftover points to lose weight. And I also weigh myself every day. So, you heard me say a second ago that if I didn't lose today because I used all my points, or I gained a little bit because I used all my points, and that's why I like to have leftover points, I weigh myself every day because I can see where I messed up. If I didn't drink enough water, and I did everything else perfect, I had leftover points, but I didn't drink my water, and then I weigh myself, and I gain or I don't lose, and then the next day, after I weighed myself that morning, that whole day I go, because I always weigh myself in the morning, that whole day I go pound in the water, then I'll realize, okay, that's what it was, that's where I messed up. So I feel like if you weigh yourself every day, you can see where you mess up. Also, I do have 2 scales. I have a smart scale that measures my water, and my muscle, your bone, your muscle, your BMI, your water. It does all that stuff. And then I have another basic scale, and I weigh myself on both scales every day like a psychopath. I know that's a little overkill, but I like to analyze what I'm doing, because I'm not doing this for nothing. This is not for shits and giggles. I'm trying to lose weight here, so I want to know, what the heck I'm doing in my progress. So the only way to measure that is to have the right tools. So that's what I do. Back to my lunch. So as far as my turkey sandwich goes, I just put a good amount of turkey on there, and I don't count the turkey. So you heard me say it's 4-point lunch. It's 3 points for the bread. It's 1 point for the mayonnaise. That's it. There's no points. I'm counting the rest. But this is a good amount of turkey here. I'm gonna just break it up and see how many slices I end up putting on there. And I know there are some people that say some lunch meat turkey counts and some lunch meat doesn't. I get the boar's head, no salt added turkey, because I don't want to add extra salt to my body. I don't want to retain water. So I just feel like that's healthier. But it's hard to find where there's some lunch meat for turkey. You can pull up some brands and you can see if they're points, and most brands are not in the Weight Watchers app. So I just said screw it, because a lot of ground turkey, if you cook that up, as long as you get the the 99% fat free or whatever kind, it's 0 points. So I just don't count my turkey, and maybe it counts for 1 point, and maybe that's what helps with my extra points of having at the end of the day. I don't know. But I just don't count it. I feel like this is what helps fill me up for lunchtime. I put a whole bunch on there. I'm probably gonna have a little bit extra for the dogs. I have 2 little chihuahuas. But yeah, I make a thick sandwich because I know, let me put a little bit of tiny mayonnaise right here. All right. So anyway, I just know that I need to feel full, and I don't want to eat 2 sandwiches because that's way more carbs. That's 6 points technically. It might even be 7 if you have 4 pieces. And I don't want to do that. So anyway, I just have a thick turkey sandwich. Go ahead and cut this bad boy. I mean, to me, this is a New York deli sandwich because it's such a thick sandwich, but I don't care. Like you can see, that's a thick sandwich, because that's what's gonna help fill me up. So I'll leave that out because I'm gonna give that to my dogs. Ooh, I'm almost falling here. Yeah, so let's see what I have. All right, so then I most of the time will have grapes with my sandwich. Sometimes I'll have some strawberries or watermelon, but a lot of times I just grab grapes. And I'm lazy. I go to Publix. We have a Publix here. If you have a Publix, you know what I'm saying. Publix is the bomb. I like to get this because it's already off the vine. I'm lazy. I like to just have things ready for me. So I'll pay a couple bucks extra and do that. Let me see if I can get this bad boy open. There we go. So yeah, I just get the grapes. I pour a whole bunch of them on there. I don't really measure them out. I just get a good amount. See what I'm saying? That's a good amount of food for lunch, and that's what breaks my fast. Also, I forgot to tell you guys earlier today that I like to start my water out in the morning, because I'll have my water with my coffee too, but I'll put a bunch of lemon in it. It helps detox your body. So obviously water first thing in the morning is going to detox your body anyway, but the lemon helps with that too, even more so. So I do that. And that's pretty much it. That's my lunch. So now it's dinner time. So tonight what I'm gonna have for dinner is meatloaf with some cheese on top and scalloped potatoes, or otherwise known as au gratin potatoes, which is my own family's version of making it. Yeah, I'm gonna link the recipe below, or not link it, but like list out what the recipe is and the point value. It would normally be 18 points. I'm gonna make it 15 points today because I'm gonna have half of the cheesy potatoes. I actually made this the other night, which I made the servings for like 4 different people. So it's just 4 dinners for me that I can just nuke in the microwave. So here it is with the meatloaf and the potatoes. I need to obviously heat it up. But what I'm gonna do, this is 18 points right here, these 2 servings, because the cheesy potatoes are like, I wanna say 8 points, and then the meatloaf with cheese on top is 10 points. And this is like an Italian meatloaf, by the way. So anyway, I love this. Like, I grew up eating this, and this is something that helps keep me on Weight Watchers because it's not like diet food. And I know that's a lot of points, and you guys are like, whoa, 18 points for dinner? You're nuts. But remember, my lunch was 4 points. That's why I do that. So at the end of the day, I'm using 22 points, and I have 26 points, so it leaves me 4 points left over. But what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna take half of these cheesy potatoes out and then just put them back in the fridge for like another meal, and just eat half this cheesy potato portion, and I'll figure out what that is. But that'll save me at least 4 points, I would guess, because I think it's 8 points for it. 3 or 4 points I'll save. And then that will leave room for me to have this for dessert. I'm either gonna have, let's see here. Yeah, I also have the vanilla in there, I think. But I'm either gonna have, these are Built Bars, either gonna have the caramel brownie, or I'll have the cookie dough. But yeah, this will be my dessert tonight. They're really good. I love Built Bars. Some people hate them, but a lot of people do like them. They're really good if you melt them a little bit, like on a graham cracker, a chocolate graham cracker, and make it like a sandwich. You can put like whipped cream on top. You can either use like fat-free whipped cream, or just like a tablespoon of regular whipped cream, and it's like I think you can have 2 tablespoons of whipped cream for 1 point. So anyway, yeah. So I'll just have this. I don't think I'm gonna put anything on it because I want to save on points. But that way I can have this because I'm really wanting to have this tonight. Normally I would just eat those au gratin potatoes, those scalloped potatoes, like how they are. But yeah, my scalloped potatoes are just basically Kraft cheese, and I put a little bit of milk in them. I use the non-fat milk to make it lighter, and then onions and potatoes. And I just put them in the microwave. They're so good. I love them. And I put ketchup on top. Oh, that was the other thing that makes it 18 points is I use ketchup. And I use like half sugar ketchup. So anyway, yeah, I think it's half sugar. Let me see real quick. Yeah, what is this? I like this. There's another one that I like that's like no points, but I couldn't find it in the store. So this is 50% less sugar and 50% less sodium. So I think it counts as like, for 1 tablespoon, it does count for a point. But you can get the kind that has no sugar in it, and I think it's 0 points. So it would actually make this like 17-point meal, or in my case with half the cheesy potatoes, instead of 15 points, it would be like 14 points. And that's closer to where a lot of you guys want to be. Also, this is not enough food, so what I'm gonna do is add a couple of veggies. I've got corn cooking now, and then I'm throwing broccoli in. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna eat this whole bag. I'll break this up, and I'll just have some of it tonight, and then the rest of it I'll, have over the next couple days. But yeah, the veggies are gonna be 0 points. So yeah, I mean, you can have a smaller portion and have more vegetables if you want to make this more point friendly. If you don't have that many points for towards dinner, if you use more of your points during the day, there's different ways you can do all of this stuff. You don't have to, instead of having the potatoes like that, you can have a lower point side so that you're just having the cheesy Italian meatloaf. Like whatever, you gotta do you. But for me, this is what helps me stay on track, because this is not like a diet meal to me. Like I would eat this normally, like when I wasn't trying to lose weight. So this is what I do. But yeah, I'll insert a picture of what this meal looks like at the end, and it's really good. I love it so much. But I've been losing weight the last couple days on this, so definitely, you know, it's something to do. Also for the breadcrumbs, real quick, I use the Italian breadcrumbs, but then I use panko breadcrumbs too, because the panko breadcrumbs are less points than the Italian breadcrumbs, but I still want the flavor of the Italian breadcrumbs. And then also to make my meatloaf, I just use onion, like chop up onion, put some tomato sauce in there, and obviously the meat, but I try to use the most lean beef that I can get. In my store at the time, I could only get like the 93% lean. I wanted to try to get 95, but they didn't have that available. So 93% lean meat, and you know, the 2 different kinds of breadcrumbs, an egg, onion, tomato, that's it. Put a little bit, after you form the meatloaf, you try to make it even so that you can cut like at least like I did 4 servings. So at least you can cut like 4 even like blocks of, you know, your servings so that you can have them later. But and then I put the tomato sauce on top, and I put 3 pieces of the Kraft single cheese on top. You can put any kind of cheese that you want, but that's the kind that I used. And I know that's like so basic, but I like that cheese on there. Like maybe it's because I grew up with it. Like you could definitely have like higher end cheese than that. Like I definitely don't use Kraft cheese on everything that I make. I'm not like one of those people, but this is just how I grew up. So it's like, this is what's good to me. But anyway, this is what I'm having for dinner. So yep. And my dessert's gonna be yummy. I'm looking forward to that so much. Okay, so I just got done eating dinner, and I just wanted to show you that I'm about to eat my Built Bar. Oh, I have that totally upside down. There you go. I'm about to eat this Built Bar. It's gonna be 3 points, and yeah, so that's gonna put me at 22-ish points for the, either 21, 22 points for the day, and that'll be it. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel.